my view, based on incorrect material facts. Only one option was presented by the council administration, and that was to close the home on the basis of a high unit cost calculation that clearly was not correct. The misplaced approach to the savings expenditure on social care and the adverse surplus vacancies in the independent sector locally. No proper consideration, in my view, was given to the impact this would have on the current residents or to their quality of care. And we've heard this evening from Ken on the excellent gradings being achieved and secured at the Struan Lodge complex. And further to this, the ignoring completely the concerns of the residents, their relatives, the staff at the facility and this community, and this despite personal letters to the members from the residents of our Struan Lodge care home. In my view, no proper consideration was given at that time to the real costs of the running of the home, the potential for reducing those costs, and also the potential for generating additional income, to reviewing and developing the services at the complex, or to look at the alleged capacities locally on a like-for-like basis. So as part of our approach to this business and following local persistence, 3 unit costs have now been advised. The original unit cost of £1,621 per week, then reduced to £1,555 per week, and now reduced to £1,032 per week. Those unit costs are calculated by dividing the net cost to run the facility after you deduct income by 52 weeks, and then by the number of beds. In the case of Struan Lodge currently, this is 12. So taking the business forward, and having now confirmed the reduced net costs of running the facility, it would be possible to reduce this further through some cost efficiencies and, as I say, the generation of additional income. And I have assumed, as part of a calculation, a very conservative figure of reducing this by £50,000. And by looking at the total service provision at the complex and integrating services, as well as increasing the capacity of the home by, say, 20 beds, this would be 19 beds and 1 respite bed, in a way that will not incur additional revenue costs, could provide a further cost benefit to the council of around £150,000. So that would be a net benefit to the council in total of £200,000. So when you take all those financial factors into account, and you look at a service model that could be developed promoting further quality, this would reduce the unit cost from the advised £1,032 to around about £450 per week. And of course this could be lower depending on the further income generation that's promoted at the facility. Now this lower unit cost would be significantly below the higher national recognised rate for commissioning care of £566, which appears to be part of the nub of our problem. And I think we mustn't lose sight of the importance of the consideration of quality when we look at facilities for our elderly people. And when you consider that quality, and you look at the secured gradings of excellence at Struan Lodge, my view quite clearly is that this should be the benchmark for the quality of care that we require for all our elderly people in our communities. Now, a future review along the lines that we suggest will more adequately support the joint balance of care requirements that are important to us at the moment. It would be more relevant to local needs. It would provide better and integrated home care and care home services, and it would move more closer to the progressive care model that the council wants to aspire towards. And this is important given the proximity of the resource, the available land at the resource, to the NHS facilities that we all know are located close by. And there should have been further discussions in all of this with the council's social care services and with our health and housing partners. And that's not lost because that opportunity is still there for us all. If I could turn now to the legal issues then it has to be appreciated, the position that we're now in. Because following that decision on the 14th of February and its implementation, as things stand, will potentially require, as I've said earlier, the eviction of the residents at their home, Struan Lodge. Now, we know that evictions normally require a form of court action, and the residents tell me as their local councillor that they're not moving, it's their home, and they are there to stay. I've been asked this evening to read out a letter from the Lowland and Argyll Advocacy Services on behalf of one of the independent advocates speaking on behalf of one of the clients. And it reads, I am an independent advocate for Mr. Ewan Gillespie, Struan Lodge, Dunoon, who, having hearing difficulties, finds he cannot fully participate in open meetings and requests that the following be read out in his behalf. I am 78 years of age and have been happily resident in Struan Lodge for the last 4.5 years, but I have never been happier than here. It is a great place. Everything is professionally done with good food and a very comfortable room with my own bathroom. I got on very well with the management, the staff can't do enough for you, and the other residents are friendly, making it a home and not just another place. Before coming into Struan Lodge, I had respite care in another Dunoon home, and it was not a patch on this one. This is my home. I want to spend the rest of my life here, not in some other place like I was in when in respite care. Please, will you listen to us, as this is where we are very happy and do not want to move. Turning and continuing on the issue around about the legal consequences, there is the possibility of the investigation of a judicial review on the basis that the decision is based around incorrect material facts and the requirement to return to the original decision. Currently, most, if not all, of the residents at Struan Lodge have no occupancy agreement, and this raises the question, is the council in breach of a legal contract with the residents, having agreed to supply a home and charging them for this, and then removing this without their agreement? In my view, the council also has a duty of care towards the residents at Struan Lodge in terms of the Social Work Scotland Act 1968. The council must have regard to the health and welfare of the residents currently living at the home, and by moving them to a less graded facility with a reduced quality of care and the known and potential adverse consequences for elderly people in moving in such circumstances is considered to be inconsistent with the terms of that legislation. And we also have the European Convention of Human Rights, Article 2, the right to life, and Article 8, the right to respect for one's private and family life and home. And those are worthy of investigation along with any possible legal precedent. But it's my hope and my wish that there will be no need to pursue the legal process, and my hope, and I constantly have this in local government, that common sense will prevail. There will be little or no revenue savings secured by the council in the coming financial year, and this would be due to the redundancy severance payments that we would require to be paid to the staff as they go out the door. So there's an opportunity for us all to retain and provide a quality service provision, one that could be more cost effective and an improved model of care that's properly integrated and more relevant to the local needs of our vulnerable people. But there needs to be a will on the part of all in order to secure this. I think we need quite clearly to look at this again, but when we do look at it, it should not be against the background of a moratorium and closure. I think the way that we need to look at this is that our elderly people in our community deserve more. This is a valued local facility of quality, and we need to join together and let our council know that the current process and direction of travel is not what we want. It's not what members said they would do at the elections in May last year, and I would hope that you would all join us in a concerted effort with a strong voice to say that enough is enough, we're not accepting this, and we as a community will do whatever is required in order to reverse this decision and make sure that this is not implemented. Thank you.